In today's video, we are looking at AI. This is a tricky topic because many photographers are against using AI and don't like seeing AI images. The problem with this is AI is not going away. It's just growing bigger and bigger. And if you're a photographer and you're not using it, you're going to be left behind by other photographers that are using it to create amazing images. In today's video, I will be showing you images I made using AI, using an open source program you can install and run on your own home computer system. It is called Z-Image Turbo. With it, you can create amazing photorealistic images, images that most people would not be able to tell if it was shot by a photographer or created by AI. This replaces the need for stock photography and moves towards replacing many other types of photography. Even my talking in this video is created from a clone of my voice. I'm using a mixture of a voice cloning text to audio program and the cloning feature in DaVinci Resolve. We're going to start this off by showing some macro photography and other zoom-in images. Let's start with this bee. This looks every bit as good as any professionally shot macro image with an expensive camera setup. Then what about a colorful bird? And yes, this was made with AI in Z-Image Turbo, right on my Mac. Here we have a close-up of a fish, all created from using a custom AI prompt. Now here's a beetle on a branch. Really nice close-up photography, or a digital creation. Next, a close-up of a caterpillar crawling on a twig branch. And here we have a red-headed woodpecker. Looks like something I would see on a tree out front. And here's an interesting-looking spider on a leaf. Then how about some wintertime frozen berries? A close-up look. And a close-up of a dragonfly. Then, a different type of dragon in its own right. Now, back up in the trees, we have another bird image. And we can't go without showing a close-up of a butterfly. Now let's take a look at some people images that I created with the Z-Image Turbo. You would have to have a very good camera and lens setup to even get this type of image quality. Now we move into people pictures with this holiday Santa Claus, all made with AI. Hungry? Let's go hunting with our AI-made Bowmaster. Here I made up a podcast between two fake people. Now we go to the islands for a hot AI fire dance. Need a model for your next product shoot? She's available at a moment's notice. Or how about some punk rockers to show off your leather goods? I'm going to keep going with some more images, and everything we're seeing I created in Z-Image right on my Mac computer. These images take about 90 seconds each to come out. I've actually tweaked the system out a little bit more. I can knock them out in about 40 seconds now. But if you're on a Windows system with a fast NVIDIA board, you could be knocking these out in anywhere from 5 to 10 seconds each. And I wanted to point out that I'm just scratching the surface here on what you can do. You can also do these things in ChatGPT and in Google's Gemini and other online platforms. You can even mix images by putting input images in to create a mixture of all those images into one new image. And of course, if you got really good computing power, you could make AI videos that we're seeing so many of on YouTube and social media channels. As we go through the different images, we'll go through different styles and different types of images, and then get into some crazy stuff. The kind of things you just can't go grab your camera and go shoot. That would be impossible to shoot unless you had a gigantic budget to build sets and have custom costumes made. Need some sports images for a website or an ad? You can create them. Here's some I made in Z-Image Turbo. We used AI in our photography business this year for many of our customers. I'm going to make another video just on that, showing how we just shot face close-ups of different customers, and then we were able to turn them into many different types of photos, including different fantasy type of images that would be impossible to shoot with a regular camera. AI is here, folks. You need to embrace it and start using it in your photography business, or even when you're shooting for fun, or better yet, depending on what you need, you might not have to go out and shoot anything. You can create it right at your desk. This open source Z-Image Turbo that I'm using actually has some new updates, giving it more new features I haven't even loaded in yet. You can do in painting, and use style reference images for different posing type of looks and more. AI is moving fast with lots of updates. The image quality now is so much better than it was just a short 6 months ago. What will the state of photography be in the next 1 or 2 years? It's definitely going to be changing. It already is. With the advanced upsizing AI tools, there's really no need for large megapixel cameras anymore. You can take an old 6 megapixel image and enlarge it to over 50 megapixels to make flawless looking gigantic images, and do it all very fast. Now let's create our own wildlife adventure with some animals I created with Z-Image Turbo. And what about expensive lenses to give you that great background bokeh look? I think you're going to find that AI will handle that as well, so you will be able to turn any image that you shot or have into any type of background look that you want, including even changing the background scene to something completely different. We did a lot of green screen photography in the past, and really love doing that, but what you can do now with AI just surpasses that 1,000 times over. Has AI replaced your camera for many things? The answer would have to be yes, and it will be replacing more things as it gets better and better. The enjoyment that people get out of shooting photography for fun, like street photography and so on, could be replaced with the enjoyment of sitting at your computer and creating the same type of images to see how well you can describe them to make them as best as possible. This would be no different than the enjoyment people get out of showing the images they've manipulated with Photoshop, or when they're creating 3D type of images in programs that they share. Let's look at a few more animals. How about a nice tiger and a cat, sitting side by side? I think it's fun to create unusual looking images, like a monkey eating spaghetti, in a park, outdoors. Here's one of our furry friends that just looks like he picked his own carrot in the carrot patch. Here's that crazy armadillo that keeps getting into the garden, messing everything up. It scoots away into the dark. Now for just the fun of it, let's add a couple of dogs on surfboards out in the ocean. Hang 10 with my furry friends made with AI. Everybody loves dog photos. This is just too cool. But let's get into how I made these images real quick. I'm a Mac user, and there's a Mac app that you can download for free called Drawthings. Once you get Drawthings up and running, you can download Z-Image Turbo right into it. It's all set up, ready to go. And you could start making images of anything you could think of, and anything you can describe. Now let's travel the world a little bit and go to some different destinations and create images just like we were there. More stock images you can make for any type of travel post, ad, or website. A good tip to get better images is to use ChatGPT and ask it to create the prompt for you. Give it an idea of what you want and it will create a detailed prompt that you can use to create some great images. You can also load Z-Image Turbo into Comfy UI on both Mac and Windows. If you're familiar with using Comfy UI, this might be a great way to use it. It just takes a little bit more setup time to get it going. I have a Comfy UI version of it set up as well. I wanted to point out that all the images you're seeing that I created were all created in an HD size at 1920 wide. You can make larger images as well, or just run an upsizing process to upsize the images to whatever size you want. I just knocked all these out real fast to make this video, to show what you can do by creating images on your own computer using open source software. I made a lot of these images quite quickly for this video. If you spend a little bit more time, you can create basically anything you want with any type of look and style. Even when compiling the images for this video, I was able to create new images to add in places that I felt I needed another image so quickly and easily, much faster and better than if I had to grab the camera, go drive possibly for hours to get to a certain place, and try to shoot an image, and then come back and edit it to use. Now it's time for an altered reality, where you can create images that would be basically impossible to create in any other way except using AI. Unless you use tons of layers and spend a lot of time to even come close to some of these type of things. But you can do this in Z-Image Turbo based on your computer speed, anywhere from 5 to 90 seconds or so. If you make YouTube videos, you can also use this to make your YouTube thumbnails by just describing what you want. Even mixing in some of your own images or adding your own text to an image it creates. I'm running out of things to say here, so I'm going to play some music for a little while, so you can enjoy some more AI images created with Z Image Turbo, and of course the music is going to be created by AI as well.
Whole world. Freeze frame. Unfurl. I used to pack 3 bags, 2 lenses, pray to whoever played along. Now it's just prompt, tweak, send it, whole shot done before the song. Sky swap, wardrobe in a second, smile fix, straight hair erase, studio in my screen, I beckon, perfect light, perfect face. Click, generate, that's the shot. Every pixel hitting the spot. Who needs a cam when the code runs hot? AI got the angles locked. Click, generate, that's the shot. Every pixel hitting the spot. Who needs a cam when the code runs hot? AI got the angles locked. Click, generate, frame by frame. The reality's all the same. Say cheese, nah, just type the name. AI doing everything. A golden hour, tripod stuck in the sand. Now I drag a little slider, move the sun with my hand. No more hold still, no blinking, rain or shine on command. I can change what you were thinking just by changing one strand. Click, generate, that's the shot. Every pixel hitting the spot. Who needs a cam when the code runs hot? AI got the angles locked. Click, generate, that's the shot. Every pixel hitting the spot. Who needs a cam when the code runs hot? AI got the angles locked. Click, generate, frame by frame. The reality's all the same. Say cheese, nah, just type the name. AI doing everything. Waiting in the clouds, portrait on the moon, billboard on Mars. By this afternoon, no lens flare, no red eye, every flaw redesigned. If you blinked, you won't know we rewrote the
Is AI smarter than your digital camera? Well, it does know how to capture an image, or should I say create an image that looks like anything with any kind of exposure or look. And they can create images that would be impossible to shoot with just a camera. Well, that's it for this video. I hope this gives you a little insight into AI image making and how we're now at the quality levels that people can't really tell the difference. So until next time, I hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe to our channel. We have many more videos on the way.
This is the future.